Behind me is Borders Bookstore number 1, the flagship. It is closing along with all of the other remaining Borders bookstores due to the company's Chapter 11 bankruptcy. For many, this is not just the closing of a bookstore, but it will change their livelihood forever. The creation of e-readers, stiff online competition, and the struggling economy are blamed for the demise of the bookstore chain. Now, what are your thoughts on the closure of the Borders?
I was just told that it's the first time in Ann Arbor in 100 years that there won't be a bookstore downtown. I'm a former book dealer, and I lost my job in the book business too, so I'm sad for those who are losing their jobs. But I'm also sad for the whole city not to have this amazing resource.
Now, how many times have you shopped at this store or one of the other Borders?
Many hundreds. As an ex-book dealer, I love books. I love the tactile feeling of books instead of a Kindle. Even though you can put 500 books on a Kindle, it's not the same as holding something in your hand or going to the beach with it or having it in your backpack and pulling it out. Books are old friends.
So where are you going to go from here now to get your books?
I'll go to the mall or I'll go onto Amazon like most people. I'll buy them used online, but it's not the same as browsing and finding some treasure that you didn't know existed because you found it on a shelf.
Now, since this space is going to be empty, what would you like to see in here?
Oh, I mean, I'd love for this to stay, but I can't have that. So I hope it's something that's cultural. The city needs cultural stores instead of just clothes and food. That's what happens when these places go, clothes and food come in all over the world.
And any other comments before we wrap it up?
No, I hope that this store, survives in some form, even online. Yeah, they do great work in the world. Books deserve to survive.
Discounts are currently being offered at 30 to 50% off. The deals are expected to get even better over the coming weeks. So what are your thoughts on the closure of Borders?
My thoughts on the closure of Borders would be I'm quite, disappointed and discouraged that our industry of books is going down. Technology's been taken over. And, it's sad to see any kind of business go fall under. So,
Now, where are you going to buy your books since Borders is closing?
Since Borders is closing? Well, there's Barnes & Noble. There's, Amazon.com is very popular. So, I guess I'd have to say those two, in retrospect for books. So.
All right. Now, how many times have you shopped at a Borders?
Generally around the holidays or birthdays is generally the time I do a little bit for myself. I'm kind of a sporadic book shopper. I can go anywhere and look for books. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So since this is closing, what would you like to see in this space? In terms of maybe another type of business.
Anything go blue. Anything with Michigan football. Go blue. No, in reality, gosh, it's such a big store. That's a great question because Ann Arbor can benefit from a lot of different businesses. So to me, I'd have to sit and think about that one. In real honest, yeah.
All of the stores nationwide will be closed by the end of September. All 10,700 remaining Borders employees will lose their jobs. Brothers Tom and Louis Borders founded the company during their years at the University of Michigan. This was the location of the very first Borders bookstore. Now it is a CVS pharmacy, and it is located on the opposite side of State Street from the current flagship store. So what are your thoughts on the closure of Borders?
My thoughts, I really like the store Borders. I like any bookstore, honestly. I do like to read and buy. I buy plenty of books. Being in Nashville, the store went out of business when about a month ago, or somewhere around a month or two ago, month and a half ago, something like that. And I was sad because I've been hearing it all around talking about, they're going out of business. But I didn't realize that I showed up the last day the store was going out of business. I had to buy some books. I had missed out on everything because I wanted a bunch of science books or whatever, but I got some books and it was pretty good. Again, you see the sign back here. Borders will be missed. I'm going to miss it.
So how many times have you shopped at a Borders then?
How many times have I shopped at Borders? It's at least, on the low end, at least once a month. So at least. Hopefully that's okay for the salespeople. I don't know. I mean, I guess not since they're around. It's not. But I guess I'm gonna have to just go to Books A Million or order them online. So
what would you like to see in this space right here? Is there another type of business you might think would work good?
Another type of business.
Like what, this space right here that we're in.
This space.
What else would you say should go here?
Well, I love to have a good time outside of reading, so I'd say a salsa club or a Latin club. How about that?
Any other remarks before we wrap up?
Borders, you will be remembered. And then I heard too that this is the original.
Yes.
I just heard that today from my friend, so that's why it's even more significant. Because I thought that Borders wasn't going totally out of business, but because the original one is closing, I think that really said a lot. So yeah, it hurts, but I guess we just got to go somewhere else to buy some books. Keep it moving.
A for lease sign has already been placed on the flagship store.
I worked at Borders. I worked at their corporate office for a couple of years, and I'm devastated that they're closing. It was an Ann Arbor institution. It's been here since I was little. I hate to see it go. I really do. I think I would love to see an investment company come in and take them over, whether it's Barnes & Noble, but Barnes & Noble isn't doing very well either. So I just wish that somebody would come in and pick them up, because I think it's the history of Ann Arbor. It's always been here. I think it should stay here.
Now, where do you normally get your books? Do you buy them online from Amazon or just the book library?
I get them from Borders. We have a Borders in Canton, and I always go to Borders and pick up my books.
So what are you going to do now?
Probably Amazon or Barnes & Noble, as long as I just don't have one close by, so I'll go wherever I have to. So it's sad to me. It's very, very sad.
In February, the company tried closing 226 of its underperforming stores, but that didn't help. What do you think of Borders?
I like Borders. I feel really bad that they're going out of business. A lot of people are going to lose their jobs. It's unfortunate.
Have you shopped there in the past, or do you prefer other bookstores?
I've shopped there in the past, but I also go to Barnes & Nobles.
Ann Arbor has always been synonymous with Borders bookstore, but that will soon come to an end. Reporting on the University of Michigan campus, I'm Jason Rzucidlo for AmericaJR.com.